What's going on, guys? Today we are back, headed to the gym right now. New week, it's Monday, and cool, we're back in schedule and stuff like that. We got up at 4:30 this morning. We got a lot of work done, which is great. Almost the whole to-do list is knocked out for the day. One thing that we're running into an issue with right now is we're trying to find a UGC content person for the agency right now. Right now, all of our creative strategists are responsible for going ahead and hiring their own content creators and stuff. And we use a platform called Incense.pro to hire those creators, and Incense.pro is absolutely amazing. But right now, we're working on delegating a lot of different roles inside of the agency and stuff. And one of those things is delegating that UGC side to where creative strategists don't have to worry about hiring creators anymore, worry about managing creator hiring campaigns, worrying about interviewing creators and all that stuff. We want to completely remove that off their plate and everything to improve efficiency inside of the agency. And right now, that's the main bottleneck this week that we're trying to solve for, because we're underperforming in the terms of delivering enough UGC for clients week over week. And we're trying to increase that output to be able to hit those goals that we have with each of our clients and stuff. So this week we're struggling with that right now. We got a few applicants and stuff. Not too sure about these applicants yet. So we're gonna be kind of going throughout that this week. It's gonna be a big theme for this week of trying to see if we can find that person to successfully offload that task and be able to improve the efficiency side of the agency, client results, and all of those good things right there. Before we actually jump back to that, we're actually headed right now to the gym as usual. Excited for today because today is going to be our first workout after going on a max week. So today is going to be a lot lighter than normal. We're going to be doing a little bit more reps, a little bit more sets and stuff. So it'll be cool. And I think this will be actually the first bench press workout we've recorded yet, since just the recording days always fall weird when we do. So we'll see you guys at the gym. Boys, you win some and you lose some. Last week we won. We got our 280 max. I thought it was 275, but coach corrected me. We're actually 280 we did for our maximum bench. And then this week we started off strong. We felt good. We did our 5x5, and we were going to our 3x3s at 225, and got the first 2 reps of the first set, and then just completely just done. But some days you plan a lot of shit to do, whether it's business, life, etc., and you don't get it all done, but at least you showed up. That's all that matters. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to find some type of paintings, wall art, something for this wall. We want one piece right here and one piece right here. I'm thinking roughly probably about this big, maybe like this wide, boom and boom. So if y'all have any suggestions, any ideas, comment below. I know there's a couple websites I normally purchase wall art from, and I still have my fish poster, the one that says mindset on it with the fish with the shark fin, and I still have the other, I think, mindset poster. So may hang those back up just for now, but would love to put 2 things on this wall, just kind of like fully solidify that backdrop and everything like that. So yeah. And then the other little thing we added was the little bench here, just so my dogs can look outside throughout the day while I'm working and stuff like that. So yeah, go. All right, so we just finished up some work and everything, taking a quick little break, reconnecting with nature and blah, 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 all that other mental shit that people like to talk about online. Anyway, what I want to talk about right now is, okay, hey, this is this person that I'm struggling with in my business right now. I'm going out and hiring this particular person so we can get back in scaling. This directly impacts our ability to get results for clients, directly impacts our ability to scale Facebook ads. The minute this person comes in our business, we amplify the number of UGC we get back inside to client accounts. It's still some of our top performing ads, even though we are doing a lot with AI and everything like that. It's still some of our top performing ads, and the more we test, we do find more winners and everything like that. So this is a direct correlation for how fast and how much more we can scale our client results and deliver better client results and everything. So going and hiring this person is critical for me. And right now you may be thinking, well, cool, that's great, Nick, but where is that problem at in my business? How do I apply this to my business? And after hiring, I think 1 to 2 new people over the last 5-6 weeks and adding in almost 10 new people to the team in the last month and a half, I can say right now, the first objective right now is to figure out the things that you're doing twice every day. Things that you're constantly having to do over and over and over. You don't need to be doing those things. You can be handing that off to someone whose sole job in your business is to solely focus on that one thing. That's one way I like to hire. The second way I like to hire is actually going and looking for what keeps breaking within the business. Sometimes, like in this example right here, we were noticing a very stagnant, basically speed of which we're getting UGC for our clients. And I was like, well, how can we fix this? And I was noticing campaigns inside of Instance weren't getting answered to, creators weren't getting answered to. There was too much time in between us hiring a creator and shipping them a package and stuff. So ultimately for me, after talking to a few team members and stuff, it was the wise decision to actually go hire someone to solely focus on that role so we can get back to scaling again. Now, someone I recently just hired, so again, this was out of a reaction, right? The problem happened and I reacted to it with a solution to fix that particular problem. This same thing happened about 2-3 weeks ago. We lost a client because the client kept checking Asana, which is our project management tool, and he kept noticing that there was tasks that were not being completed within Asana, right? And it happened once, cool, no problem at all. Happened again. Nick, I feel like I'm not getting paid attention to here when, there's tasks that were due 2 or 3 days ago, and then it takes about 3 or 4 days for your team to actually complete those tasks, right? So that became an issue. And ultimately here, the problem that was arising was, yes, those tasks weren't being done, but then it was also like, well, Nick, I have so much stuff on my plate that I can't properly go and look at Asana every day and making sure everyone's tasks are being done. And again, my team, for the most part, I would say we get 90 to 95% of things done on time, but there's still little things that falls through the cracks. So we just brought on a operations director, and this operations director comes in and he makes sure all the teams are getting their tasks done, all the team members are staying up to date with clients and stuff, so that way we could provide a better service for our clients. This is going to increase client retention. It's also going to increase our client results if we're making sure we stay on top of things right there. And this is another example right here of we noticed a problem in the business and we went and hired someone to fix that particular thing. So that's another way I like to hire. You notice a problem and you go put more people at it, basically. More people at it and more money at it. So the first way is, hey, what shit I can take off my plate? The second way is going to be problems you keep having in your business and stuff like that. And then the third way I like to hire and bring people into my business is when I have a vision to go do something, but I just simply don't want to be the person that actually has to spend the time, energy, and effort and money to go do it myself. So great example of this is I just recently hired an AI developer, and this AI developer basically is engineered to go build out whatever I want. Now, I could have easily spent a couple of days learning all these different AI tools and coding and blah, 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 blah. But the problem with that, if I would have spent all that time, energy, effort, and stuff like that, it would have taken me away from focusing on client results, creating content for YouTube and stuff. And these are the things that make me a lot of money. So I don't want to take my time, energy, and effort away from things that make me a lot of money. So this AI developer thing was a full exploratory action. I have no clue if it's going to pay off or not. But I knew I had a vision of what I wanted to do, and I knew if he could do it, there would be a good probability I'd make a good ROI on that. And so I went out there, hired that person. He went, built everything out for me. I think it took me maybe 5 minutes to pay him the invoice. You know, after I paid him the invoice, like literally he went, built it out, he brought it back to me, and then after he brought it back to me, I gave him a few tweaks to it, and then boom, it's done, built with AI and everything. I had maybe spent 4 or 5 minutes on that tops. Whereas, for example, if I would have spent a couple of days on that, that would have taken a lot of time, energy, and effort from the main actions from it. So that's another way I like to hire, right? I have a vision for something. I want to go get it done. Who do I need to go hire to help me accomplish that vision right there? And you become the money, and you become an investor investing in different things within your business and stuff. So that's the 3 things I look at right now in your business. I always like to focus on the problem one first, the thing that's really holding you back right now, because that's going to give you probably the best ROI, immediate ROI, and really kind of help you like get some leadway in your business and stuff. Then I like to look at what's the things I'm doing twice that I can just get off my plate, so that way I can free up my schedule more. And then the last thing is, okay, now like what's some of the visions I have that I want to accomplish? You might be going to hire a CRO person in your business. You might be going to hire a dedicated UGC person in your business. And maybe going to hire a dedicated media buyer in your business. Who knows what that may be, but this is where I'd spend some time reflecting on. And yeah, now before we actually go into anything more, I do need to check some applicants. I do need to get some YouTube videos filmed today, and I'm excited to hopefully have a hire by the end of this video for our new UGC fit person. So we'll see. Stay tuned for the video, and we'll see what happens throughout it. Just finished filming up some YouTube videos. We got some bangers coming in for next week and everything. And I'm excited to announce some cool stuff with the UGC hire person we got some cool news and stuff. But before I do that, I do have to hop in some calls, and unfortunately our cameraman will have to go away for those calls and everything. So we'll see you guys in a little bit, luckily later in the video for y'all, but Friday for me. Well, we'll go through the new hire that we should successfully have by Friday. So find out. And like, boom, we're here. It's Friday. It's been like 4 days since we last talked and stuff. Anyway, right now I'm currently in the process of creating an SOP for a particular team member. Can't tell you how important this is when you're actually working with a team and stuff, have dedicated processes for various things and stuff. And this team member is about to start. So may have spoiled the big part of this video. We'll talk a little bit more about that on the way in the car to the gym and stuff, but I really need to film this video real quick before we go, and it's already 7:15, and we probably be late today. So hopefully I get this done real quick before we go, not be too late. Jordy won't be too upset with us. So I'm gonna get this filmed, and then we'll talk more about this potential new hire we just made. We're a little late, but it'll be all right. All right, we're barely just getting out of the house now for the gym. We're gonna be almost 20 minutes late, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay. It's actually funny because I wake up early so that way I can get work done before I go to the gym and stuff. And you know, again, I work with a personal trainer 5 times a week. 3 days of the week we do weightlifting. 2 days of the week we do boxing. And thought waking up at 4:30, waking up early, I would actually get there on time, but it actually did the complete opposite to me, because I get too in the weeds, too, you know, just deep work and everything, and then I'm like, fuck, I don't want to leave, I want to get this finished, and then I end up just getting like 15-20 minutes late every time. So on days I do wake up at like 6:30 though, and then just get up and go straight to the gym, like I'm always like 10 minutes early. But anyway, long story short, going back to switching topics, going back to the main thing of today's video, or this week's video specifically, is did we hire our content creator manager? That's been the big theme of this week, and after lots of interviews and kind of going through people and stuff, I can proudly say we did hire that person, and that person's actually starting today. I spent all morning this morning prepping their onboarding and everything like that, which I can't tell you guys like how important it is to have a proper onboarding process with team members and stuff. Give them all the information they need, the resources, tools, everything like that, overviews and everything day one. And then as you build those documents out, it's easy to just keep sending those same documents out to new people as you make that hire again. Now, in our case, we just sent everything out. That person will be starting in like 2 hours from now, or not even 2 hours, an hour. and they just got their email, their official agency email, and like a bunch of other good stuff, which I think I might talk about in next week's video, kind of that onboarding process and what that looks like with team members and stuff like that. But this particular person we just brought on and stuff, you know, I talk to a lot of people. I do a lot of interviews all the time, and one of the things that immediately just like you have to be able to have to work with me is you have to be able to talk efficiently to me in like a Zoom call or something like that. I can't tell y'all how many people I talk to on these Zooms and like interviews and stuff like that, and people can't fucking talk. I understand being shy, like I'm a shy person too as well, and I understand being introverted and stuff like that, but when people are like looking down at the keyboard the whole time and can't make eye contact and just kind of like beating around the bush to answer questions and like blah 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 and just like a drain like this and you know and that, and it's like I'm not gonna hire you in that case right there. So you need to be able to efficiently talk and stuff, and that's something that I make sure to, that's like my first thing right there, just to get you in the door. Then outside of the door, it's like, okay, hey, like I'm gonna talk to you about your process. I'm gonna interview you about your process and stuff. And if you can't properly communicate that process to me, then it's like, and you don't have that confidence in that process right there, that immediately allows me to separate the people that actually did the thing I'm hiring for versus the, oh, okay, hey, this person just saw things online, but they never actually practiced it themselves. So that's basically how I've kind of hired for this particular key position right now. Hired a lot of people like that in agency, and we found a lot of really like just killers in agency. It's kind of with that vetting process and stuff, and then obviously there's some other little things I don't talk about, you know, in terms of like hiring projects and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, long story short, we found our person. He starts today. I'm extremely excited. I need to get this workout in now. And then we have a couple other cool things we got to go to today. We got to prep the student lessons today. We have a consulting call today, and a couple other just like making sure this team member is effectively onboarded now. So we got a run, a race in like a week. We're doing a 10K down in New Orleans. We're doing the Crescent City Classic, which at the time this video goes live, we'll be racing tomorrow basically. When you're watching this video, but me and my girlfriend Victoria are gonna be doing that. And anyway, the reason why I'm saying that is because tomorrow we have our last like 6-mile run before we go do the actual race. So today we kept it a lot lighter in the gym. We maxed out last week, and the way our program works right now is it progressively gets less reps and higher weight throughout the cycle, and then at the end of the cycle you max out, and then you start back over again with high reps and you go back down. But when you start back over with the higher reps, you obviously have larger weights, or like heavier weights compared to like what your max was and stuff like that. So anyway, this was like week 1 of back to higher reps, and you know, Monday, at the beginning of this video, we failed at doing all the reps for bench press. And then going into Wednesday, I was having some neck issues after a sparring session and stuff, and a couple other things with like deadlifting last week and stuff. So we ended up starting squats a little lighter, but we ended up still doing 5 sets of 5 at 245. And my legs are cooked today. From that, like I could barely roll out of bed this morning. This is the second day, so yesterday was day 1 after squat day. And if you know anything about squats, it's always the day after, the 48 hours after doing a squat session, you feel the worst and stuff. But anyway, yeah, kept it really light today because I was hurting, and also too got to do our run tomorrow, so I want to make sure that I'm feeling nice, loose, and like ready to roll for tomorrow. And then today we're also going to carb up, so we're going to go do our Chick-fil-A ritual now, but instead of doing the healthier egg white grill, we're going to go a little bit more dirtier and go back to our burrito, and we're going to stay high carbs pretty much all day today, so that way we're nice and ready to roll tomorrow, pretty much just giving ourselves double the amount of carbs we normally do. So we'll be at like 300, 350, 400 today versus the typical like 170 that we do for a cut, which is going to be fun. So anyway, we'll see you guys back at the house, grab some food, and then we need to hurry up and try to see if we can get today's vlog up. It's 8:37 right now. We still have to upload it, make sure the thumbnail and all that's good. So hopefully we get back in time. We'll update you guys if we do. The very glimpse of time, we were able to get the video up officially. And right now, me and Zach, cameraman Zach, are having competition right now to see which thumbnail is going to convert better. So we'll actually see from an analytics side of what thumbnail work better. But I'm curious for you guys for watching this video right now. Go vote below which thumbnail. We got the green one right here, and we got the blue one. That's what we'll say right there. I think they both look pretty good, man. I don't know. This took like 2 minutes in Gemini, and I think you spent like what, almost an hour. So we're about to see. Was the extra time worth it on that side right there? But anyway, we're about to hop into some calls and stuff. Typically, I don't do calls on Friday besides my student call, but I do a consulting call with one of my clients. Also, thank you to my amazing girlfriend who got us coffee and stuff like that while we're out at the workout. And I think right now we also have to decide what cigar we want to do. Typically, we go to the cigar lounge on Fridays and stuff, but I think today we're going to do a cigar at home. And I'm actually really tempted here. I don't want a huge cigar. Well, actually I do. I do want to sit outside for about an hour. So I think I'm going to go for, let's just do our usual Palencia. This is our usual go-to. It's about a 2-hour cigar. You just can't go wrong with it. And I don't feel like trying anything new right now. Just because I'm looking for something consistent that I can just enjoy while I do my work. So we're going to go with the Palencia right here. It's always a good one. I think it's Palencia. I don't know. I'm not good with those names and stuff. But anyway, we're going to go chill outside, get some work done. We'll see y'all out there. So right now we are currently working on putting together basically my student lesson for today. And right now the big topic today is Q2. So Q1 is coming to an end. So now it's planning out the key dates you need to understand in Q2 to take action on. These are various different like actual dates like Father's Day, Mother's Day and stuff. And then there's also things like different desires that kind of shift in the marketplace that we can actually leverage and capitalize on during Q2. So right now I'm putting this lesson together, and then we'll be jumping into a consulting call with one of my clients. So it should be a good little time. I'm just hoping I have enough time to actually finish this before we have to do that consulting call. So I need to pretty much put my head down and grind away for these next 30 minutes. Just finishing up that call. That was a pretty cool call. That was one of my consulting clients. So a couple things, like we work with clients. We obviously do like the done for you with like the whole agency side and everything. And then that's where like we do all their ads and everything like that. And then we have the one-on-one program with the inner circle and stuff. And the inner circle is great. It allows people to have like some group coaching, also some one-on-one calls with me and stuff. But that's one of my one-on-one consulting clients we just got off of. And the difference between an inner circle client and a consulting client is that the inner circle client, they get one 30-minute call with me a month, and then like the group calls and the DMs and all the trainings and stuff. But my consulting clients, they get a 1-hour call with me every single week. And we get like access to their business manager, their ads manager, Shopify, and everything like that. And instead of us doing the work for them, I just more consult with them on like what they need to change in their team, what's like the different like new like actions they need to take and stuff to help scale. So it's pretty cool. This brand right here, I'm not going to mention their name and everything like that. They do, I'd probably say close to 8 figures a year. They've had some celebrity endorsements like the Kardashians and stuff. And I say endorsements, they've been featured by the Kardashians on their like social media and stuff like that. So really fucking cool brand. Enjoy working with them a lot. And they're action takers. Every time we tell them something to go do, they go do, and they get some pretty cool results from it. So, but finishing that up, I am a little late on finishing up my lesson for today. So I'm gonna try to finish this. I just had to get out the sun because we were melting over there. But we're about an hour out from my student call. Try to get that done before we get rolling. A lot of exciting stuff happened in the last hour, two. We finally got my new team member and stuff inside of Slack and everything. There was a miscommunication with actually loading them in to Slack. So really cool that the team member we hired like a week ago for operations and stuff, that person's actually able to get that person on and like start supporting that stuff, which is really cool. And then now I don't have to worry about that at all. So that's gonna save me a couple hours of time, which is solid. Let's see. And then I also have the full lesson plan for today, which is also good. We got all that, we got just about all of it done. There's a few things we're missing, but for the most part, it's gonna be very valuable to people that are gonna be watching it. We gotta get very prepped for the call. Let's see, what are we gonna all need for the call? We need our water, get all that together. Cool. So we'll get started on the student lesson and stuff like that. As we wrap up today's video and stuff, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure the like button, subscribe button, all of that stuff like that. Right now we're in the process of doing a new weekly vlog every Friday to kind of replace Friday's video. So subscribe for more like this, and also to let me know what you guys want to see in the next video. I'm gonna hop into this weekly call. See you guys later. Yo, yo, yo.
Telling us to go off some like the white wheels because our products usually for